Hey there, scrappy friend. Suzanne here in the studio today. Various projects that I have finished up. Unfinished projects can either be albums I haven't finished, a stack of pictures I haven't finished. Sometimes it just is a class or a workshop that I haven't finished. And other times it can just be using the last bit of scraps or papers from a paper line. So let's see what I've got for you today, shall we? The first thing I wanted to show you is that since Creating Keepsakes is coming up, last year my sister and sister-in-law and I, we did some classes from Creative Creations, and they give you these 2-page layouts that are just gorgeous, and then there's leftovers that then you have to use on your own. So let me show you. Here was the actual class layout. Isn't that beautiful? And then from the extras that I had, I was able to take this, and I had to add in another piece of 49th and Market paper. And here you can see what I've done. This one was a gingham, and as you can see, it would not have been nearly as distressed as the normal 49th and Market. So I used a couple of stamp sets on it, some fine lace by Stampin' Up, and then this print pattern, which kind of echoes the one that they have in the 49th and Market. And then I really just played with the extra embellishments. We had lots of flowers and gears and clocks. And then some of these acetate pieces that were embellished with glitter. So let me kind of show you a close-up. These are all my own design as far as how I laid out these beautiful embellishments. Isn't that pretty? Then on this page, we did 2, the smaller one. I also added in some embellishments from another 49th and Market line. I just kind of add all my 49th and Market embellishments, just kind of carry them forward from line to line because they can mix and match pretty well. So there you see it. So that was for one class. The other one was called Country Dreams. And here is this. I like this. It says, live today, dream tomorrow. So here was the class one we had done. It's pretty. And then here is what I did with the leftovers. Part of the leftovers were in this embellishment pack. It said cherish yesterday. So we have live today, dream tomorrow, cherish yesterday. So I got a 2-page out of this. I added in some Prima flowers from my stash. And then this is a 49th and Market, I think it was called Essentials or something. So it was papers that were basically ledger or graph or just basic 49 and Market. So it went pretty well with this page over here. And then we've got some pretty butterflies and then just layered paper embellishments. Looks like that little piece of chipboard's coming off. And then here I've got some flowers and another clock. Then here we had a piece of ribbon in one of the embellishment packs, so I used that. And then again, adding in some Prima flowers. Okay, so that is actually the last of the classwork from last year's Creating Keepsakes as far as getting any leftovers used up and getting that all taken care of. Okay, next up, I had some leftovers from the Close to My Heart Dream Maker. This was last year's National Scrapbook Day bundle. So there was quite a bit of this colored cardstock. And I just had 2 pieces of this paper left and zip strips. And then I stamped and overstamped some more flowers. Used the digital set in order to get the dragonflies and these leaf sprigs. And then I also had a die in my own set with these little leaves. And then on this side of the paper, we used the stencil and did that. And then over that, we laid a sheet of vellum. Isn't that pretty? And there's a piece of the pale pink cardstock under that. So it's the pale pink cardstock, then the vellum on top with the leaves underneath. So let me give you, I used this black and gold memories for my title. So that gave me the idea then to pull out the gold wonderful and then to use these other gold thickers, foam thickers, for the embellishment clusters. Then on this page I have one by each of these. Nice, don't you think? At that point, all we had were the various colors of this colored card stock. So we cut it up into 2x2s. And we did a frame on this page. And then we did the same outside frame on this, but then added in another row here. And then we decorated the squares. We just punched some small shapes. I used my small punches here. I think they call this like blind embossing. It almost looks like it's embossed, except it's really just a raised punched item. Got those going all around the page. We have this banner here. This is another punch I had in my stash. And then we did some dots with the stamp set. Looks like I need to glue these little golden labels down a little better. And then here we have 2 4x4s made into Polaroid type shots. And then this washi tape was from my stash. And then over here we have the washi tape across the center. So pretty, don't you think? Then over here, since we had the twine bows on this side, I actually used a bow die cut that I had to make a bow and then wrap the twine around the center of the bow. So it's sort of repetition with variation, as I was taught to call it when taking classes at Get It Scrapped. While we had the die cutting machine out, I decided it was time to also do the Sweet Memories layout. Isn't this pretty? Basically, this is all set up for you when you buy the $9.95 digital set. That usually comes out with all our paper lines. There's usually a card SVG in there as well as a layout SVG, and then lots of separate, of course, images and words. So I used a mix-in paper in the mink color to add into this. I just think it makes the layout look so much richer than if you had 2 layers of cardstock. I did switch, instead of having both of these at the bottom, I did one of these at the bottom and one at the top. Again, repetition, but I varied it as to where I placed it. So, give you kind of a close-up. It's gorgeous, gorgeous clusters they've done on these. And here on this one. Okay. Then moving on from the Close to My Heart, I had 5 pieces of Simple Stories Bliss line left. These were 5 out of my 100 pattern papers that I had stacked up to use. I also had some stickers left and a little bit of chipboard to go with this. So this is just a layout of my own design. We've got the big butterfly spread out paper here, and then the repeating butterflies on this side, and then the black floral along the edge. I used a black floral. This black floral is also what I did my mats in, as well as this little square here to make this a little embellishment cluster. In addition to the stickers and chipboard from Queen & Company, I added in some flowers with buttons and some little enamel shapes. That's cute. Today is your day. And then over here, I use Close to My Heart journal strips and then use little Queen & Company flowers as sort of bullet points. So I like how that turned out. Then with even less paper, I went to the page maps of 2015 and I saw this great layout and decided to do this one. One of the interesting things about this is that they had this element here, a line going through the middle of this piece of pattern paper, and they showed it just as another pattern, but I had a lot of these little bitty stickers at the bottom of the sticker sheet, so I just ran those across. And then I tried to make it so that it made sense, you know, what you were able to see around the photos. And then we just did 3 of these chipboard pieces, and then my title, and then sort of another closing cluster over here. So let me show you these. And then this strip here is a piece of washi tape from my stash. And again, I'm using some more of those little enamel dots from Queen & Company. So this color up here is actually Close to My Heart linen. It is what I call sort of a necessary staple. I think I'm beginning to like to use linen as sort of my secondary off-white instead of the French vanilla. The French vanilla, of course, is creamier, but this is just a slightly warm white. It's really pretty. And this is the darker side, the normal side of it. Okay. Well, that's kind of all my finishing up projects in February. I hope you'll join me back here in March as I do some other projects and maybe have a little more time and can show you even more. As always, I appreciate your time and attention. Bye for a bit.